So sorry that we were late. We were having some technical difficulties trying to get everything going, but we finally got it going. We're like, what? Fucking 4 minutes late? You can figure it out. We're good. We're alright.
I was like, no, you're delayed.
Oh, there's a delay?
On this one.
Oh, it's whatever. Okay, so, it's your boy, Gilbert. It's your boy, Jerry.
Snoop.
Jesus.
Way to fuck it up.
I guess these guys aren't on the boys.
Way to fuck it up.
We coordinated this beforehand. We had trials and they just failed us.
Yeah,
The hat threw me off. What's up?
Oh, what's wrong with my hat?
No, your hat's great.
You're over here complaining about my hat. What's up with my hat?
I was wondering how long it would take for you guys to figure out that I was wearing a hat.
It's too shiny. Yeah, it's really too shiny. Are you trying to get a perm?
Well, no.
The guy from Walmart, he just finally inspired you to get the fro, right? That's what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
It's called an alien do-rag.
Alien do-rag.
So I had called you guys prior to this last week. I was like, oh, I got this idea that I want to use. This is the idea. I want to try to convince you guys about some of these conspiracy theories that I've been hearing about going around. Yeah.
Okay, so I got you. So the foil hat.
Yeah. First of all, I gotta ask some questions. I gotta ask some baseline questions here. Baseline questions to see where we're at as far as conspiracy theory goes. All right. First of all, I want you guys to know. Yes. Okay. Do you believe in aliens?
Hell yeah.
Snoop?
Yeah, my dad's at home.
All right. Is this?
I can see it happening.
You can see it happening?
I can see it, yeah.
All right. Second off. All right. Do you think Elvis really died when he died on the toilet? Do you think that was really him that died?
I didn't even know.
I think it was a really
To be honest.
shitty situation.
Nah.
Snoop. I don't even know who Elvis is,
Is this?
like I said,
Nah, King of Rock, I know.
I honestly didn't know how he died. I never went
All
last one.
all I remember.
Last question.
Next
Do you believe the Earth is flat?
into
Snoop?
Yeah, because when I look out into the ocean, it's fucking flat. I don't see it rounded.
Jesus?
Why would it be flat?
All right.
Okay, but hang on. When you see it from
Who put
space,
you
when they send pictures from space, is it round or is it just flat?
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
Hang on. Okay, wait. A pancake, when you look at it, when you flip it, it's still round, but it's flat.
Yeah, right. Because it's flat.
But
All right.
But
Now I've got the questions out of the way. I've got a few things I want to hand you guys. Okay.
Okay, you already gave me herpes 1 year. I can't get it again.
No, don't worry. It's okay. All right. As soon as I figured you probably have the biggest head, so here's yours.
Well, despite all this, can I go in the microwave first?
No. Jerry, you probably got like the second biggest head, right? So that's yours. Yeah.
Is it actually on?
Yes. There you go, Steve. I didn't know
Great.
how big your head was, but just put it on your head, right? And then crumple it towards your head like this.
Oh, you want him to sleep with it? Look, he's got alien head now.
There you
That's
go.
alien head. Okay.
Alien head.
They call us Alienware.
All right.
Does it look stupid?
No, we look like fucking conspiracy theorists, right?
Does it look stupid? No.
Here, I need to style mine.
You look crazy. You look crazy.
Gotta style mine.
Stupid's like he's on
Yeah.
tacos.
You look like it's like a burrito.
Well, it is a burrito, so.
I'm only bringing all of this up because there's that thing that had happened last week. We didn't really talk about last week, but about the guy, what's his name, Jeffrey Epstein, right? About how he had committed suicide in his jail cell, but people were like,
Oh, you're talking about the
yeah, he's a bad dude, nobody likes him, but he committed suicide in his jail cell, but people were like, how did he commit suicide if like his like neck was like crushed, like there was like bones and stuff that are broken in his neck, and so they're trying to figure it out. They think it's this whole conspiracy
He's a
thing.
furious masturbator. His hands are just that strong.
Right? They just
He's got it something.
Yeah.
Hulk smash my own penis. And then he just, broke his neck.
yeah. That also, and I was gonna tell you guys a story about some flat Earth story that I heard, right? And I thought it was so stupid. I didn't think it was real. But before I was gonna tell it on the podcast, I was like, you know what? Let me look it up and let me do some research on it, and so I don't look stupid on the podcast, like stupider than usual.
I was
Right?
gonna say.
I don't know, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, no, you've been actually sounding pretty smart with that
It's the glasses.
Yeah.
Called pad costs.
Pat cost. That's
Yeah.
right.
Podcast.
Podcast, wasn't it?
Well,
I'll be in school.
so I was looking at a few things, and as I'm reading and doing some research, I'm like, oh man, this makes some good sense, and oh hey, this starts making sense too. Next thing you know, I'm like in this rabbit hole with flat Earth. I'm looking at the fucking lizard people taking over the world, and I'm just I'm a conspiracy theorist.
You know
Yeah.
what? I believe Bigfoot. I believe Bigfoot.
Don't make too much noise on the thing.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. No, I believe Bigfoot. Foots. God, why do you say foots?
You gotta work on it.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're good.
Okay, I can do
Believe
this.
in me.
You believe in me. I got this.
Deep breath.
Bigfoot.
Big boot.
Yeah, Bigfoot. I believe Bigfoot is
Who is it again?
I believe he actually is blurry. Like it's not the camera. He's
He's just pixelated.
He's pixelated.
He's just forever in fucking what's the lowest? 520p?
I don't even know what that
The lowest
480.
480i. That's Bigfoot.
is. Yeah.
What if he's like the Flash and he's just vibrating?
Yeah. What if it's the fact she's moving so quickly?
That's
That
a
what's
place
this?
to
You
Yeah.
could please this video. It'd be great in porn if he's just vibrating all over the place.
No batteries required.
He would be like that one porn star that's what's his name? Come on, guys, I don't know what I'm talking
No,
No, you're the
about.
only
Short,
one.
super hairy? Big dick?
James Franco?
No.
He's
He's a medium sized dick.
Seth Rogen.
No.
Zach Galifianakis.
No, he's a porn star.
Danny DeVito.
Yes, but no. I love Danny DeVito. What's his name? Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy. Dude, that boy's ugly as fuck.
Yeah, but he'd fucking be like Bigfoot. Because he's hairy and shit.
Are you trying to say that Ron Jeremy is secretly Bigfoot?
He could be, but he's little. So he'd be
Conspiracies.
Bigfoot. Case closed.
Case closed. Ron Jeremy is
Well,
Bigfoot.
What if there's like a civilization of Bigfoot, and we're the odd ones out?
Right, what if they're like talking about us? They're like, yo, I just saw this guy who was wearing an aluminum foil hat. And he walked by really fast. Dude, I swear to God, he was this big. He was little, dude. He was like a little guy. I swear, dude, it was real, dude. Like, he had like a shiny head, man. I swear. And the other Bigfoots are like, dude, I don't know, dude. I don't believe you, man.
The naked monkeys.
Yeah.
Naked monkey.
You just like I could just imagine me just in the woods, you know, just taking a shit or something, and it's just I just hear like a camera flash, and I'm just looking around like, what was that?
That was freaking lightning.
Yeah, and then fucking Bigfoot's running away like, dude, I fucking got it! I got the proof, I got the fucking pictures, he's real, he's real!
And Bigfoot's running. Yeah, it's fell.
I'm an alien now.
Explains the mohawk.
God damn
Because I was having a really nice hair day. And you made me put on this fucking.
I just like to think of the fact that because since we're on Facebook Live, people can just randomly tune in on us, and they're just gonna tune in on us. I'll wear the fucking foil hats.
And here's the thing, even with context, it's still weird for them to tune in. They're like, why the hell did they just put on some foil hats?
I just started like, welcome to the Conspiracy Theory Podcast, where we talk about conspiracy theories.
Well, we already figured out aliens were real. Like I said, my dad's at home.
Yeah.
Bigfoot's pixelated.
Right.
The nasty monster.
Ron Jeremy is secretly Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Okay, the
AKA
nasty.
the nasty monster.
Next thing.
No. The monster.
Is he made
the
of
sea
chocolate, my
monster.
guy? Is he fucking made of chocolate?
Nessie, yeah.
The Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah, what's her name? Nessie?
Nessie.
Why does she say Nestle?
Because you're
Because that's-
hungry.
I don't
I
know.
already ate, but
That's chocolate.
yeah, that's chocolate.
That's the brand that makes chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nestle.
Nestle.
See,
Yeah.
so I thought it was a Nessie monster. What's the Nessie? The Loch Ness.
The
Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, that bitch.
Nessie.
Yeah, her.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. I think they were making a movie that was like super, super expensive.
Are they really?
Yeah, it was a real expensive movie.
Yeah,
They're
it's
making.
called Meg. Shut up, Meg. Y'all seen that movie? No?
No.
Damn.
No idea.
The minority, my guy.
I am a minority.
Yeah. Yeah. You too.
My daughter's just sitting over there picking
Oh.
cartoon.
But I had this is completely off topic, completely off subject. We'll veer away from this whole conspiracy theory shit. I don't think it went as far as I think we were supposed to go.
Yeah, okay, let's take this off.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine on.
Yeah, it's starting to smell like burrito, man.
Yeah. I smell like free birds. I'm just gonna fucking.
And make it to the shape of a penis.
Oh my god.
The shiny, really shiny dump's
Hey,
head.
that's the biggest dick I've ever had.
Hey! Now you look like the freaking girl from Greece.
Oh, what's her name? The girl from Greece.
Frenchie.
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 Yeah.
You screwed up that.
Yeah.
This is loud as fuck. This is fucking. I'm sorry for you audio listeners. Man, I look great.
Anyway, so you were steering away from all this until you started putting a penis in your head?
Right. I had a rock star moment.
Yes, you
Okay.
did.
I had a rock star moment. It was actually really cool. So, I'm at work right in Portland, and I'm at work, and I'm at a HEB, and I'll go to the back room of the HEB, and there's a few guys back there, and one of them's telling a story, right? And all I hear is like, oh yeah, and so he's there, right, kneeling on the floor, butt ass naked, and he tries to get up, right? And when he tries to get up, he slips and hits his face right on the tub, right? And his girlfriend is standing above him, just laughing, and he doesn't know what to do, and so he's just like, leave me alone, stop looking at me. And then like I'm listening to this, I overhear it, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that my story? Did I say that? Was that me? And so I start walking up to him, and he's like in the middle of the story, and then he stops. He's like, that's him, that's the guy, that's him. And I was like, hey, what's up? He's like, yo, I was just listening to your podcast, and I was telling him about the story. I was like, really? And it was like 4 other people there. I was like, oh, so I started telling him, about the story. We were talking for a while, and it was crazy. It was crazy the word about it. Like people are listening to the podcast that we're doing. And they're telling their friends, and they're talking to other people, and they're telling other people about us. And every day we get more likes, and every day on the podcast we get more views. And it's crazy that this is like actually working. People are actually listening to this shit. You guys active? I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but these guys are actually they're actually listening to us. It's fucking crazy.
Like, holy crap! It's Sunday at 7. You going to church?
No, I'm gonna listen to the Halfwitt Hooligans.
Yep.
That guy's got aluminum foil on his head. He's gotta make sense.
He's
And
got
even if you miss us live, you can catch us on Castbox or on YouTube.
Oh, that's right.
Plug in.
Instagram, or somehow Instagram. I haven't figured that one out yet. You can do it.
I'll figure it out. We have an Instagram too. We're still working on it.
Yeah. And Twitter.
And a Twitter, but
Barely.
yeah, still working on it.
Barely.
Barely. We kind of have a Twitter. Barely.
We have to be determined.
Twitter. I didn't try to say that.
I'm sorry, I have to touch it.
You have to touch
Okay.
That's what she said.
Tell me my
it. You know, if that was hair, you would look like Cindy Lou Who.
You think you remember a while back when I said that there was that one guy at that Walmart that had the super big afro?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think if I just kind of walked by him like you
Like
this, you think he'd be like in his head like, I have to touch his aluminum foil head. I have to touch his hat. You think we can make a trade off? Like, okay, you can touch my hat if you let me touch your hair.
I don't think that'll
I don't know.
happen.
He'd probably be like, what the fuck?
It probably costs security.
How do you get away from
You
me?
think so?
That'd probably call security.
Yeah. Either that or I'd probably take some of your foil home with me because I'm cheap and I don't want to buy any.
I feel like a Hershey's Kiss.
Well,
Because
you
you're brown.
well, you look like shit.
Yeah, you
Alright.
He felt pretty for a second.
For a second, and I got called shit.
Shit is beautiful, okay?
Oh.
You ever seen the shit outside?
Yeah,
That's some shit right there.
You don't believe the shit I've seen, the shit I've done, the shit I've lived.
Goddamn, nah. I have no idea what that came from.
Yeah. fuck
Hey, I was telling Gilbert about universal words. How, like somebody says like Jesus. If I go, hey bro, you want a cold one? You automatically know I'm talking about getting a beer, right?
Yeah.
How many words are there that are actually universal that everybody knows the meaning?
I got one.
Gotcha.
No.
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 That's not necessarily true. Germany is 9.
Same fucking difference. You say no, everybody knows what no means. No.
What other?
No.
There's some
No.
places
No.
where you,
No.
you say you go no and go like that, and for them that means yes.
Yeah.
For us is yes.
There's a
but
few
then
places
you
where
say
no means yes.
And that's in jail.
Yeah, that's what you call prison, dude.
Yeah.
Just don't commit
Right.
suicide.
There's a few. There's.
Well, no, like ratchet for me that used to be a tool, right?
Yeah.
Now it's a person.
It's still a tool. It's just used.
But
different.
you said universal though,
Yeah.
right? Ratchet's not universal.
It's not.
Well, what would be another universal word?
Yes.
That's not true either.
Because it could be C.
No, it's C. There's ha. You know what I mean?
Like ha 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 ha.
No, like
laughing.
Like
Everybody knows that's laughing. Everybody. You go anywhere in the entire world. You do this.
they might think
And
you're
they
insane.
know, they know you're laughing.
They might think you're insane,
Yeah.
especially with the tinfoil hat.
That reminds me of a story.
He got broke, guys.
You
Don't
got
worry.
pro, that's what it is.
That reminds me of a story.
You're trying to trick us.
Now I'm trying to slide away from me being stupid. Is it working?
Get there.
That reminds me of a story. One time when I was in high school, we had this one teacher. She was a Spanish teacher. She's great person. And what's it called? Like every day I had a friend. We call him Ruffles. He'd sit next to me, and he would throw a paper ball at me, right? And so I'd crumble up a piece of paper and I'd throw it at him. And every day in Spanish class, we'd throw paper balls at each other, right? And And one time,
Yeah, you play with balls, huh?
all the time, man, all the time. Yeah, paper ones. Yeah. And then one time, this big, giant, like, bowling ball sized wad of paper just, like, slams into us. And we're like, what the fuck was that? And we look up, and the teacher, the whole time, the whole night, the whole day, the whole classroom, I'm sorry, the teacher was crumbling up pieces of paper and making a bigger and a bigger paper ball to throw at us.
How did she get to say it? Did she tape it?
Yeah, she had, like, tape, and she had staples and shit. She was just... And she
Just trying to
glued
clean
it.
out the staples.
This shit was heavy,
It's
man.
just a
It
giant
just-
spike ball at this point.
Yup, nobody noticed her making it?
I think we were taking a test.
Oh.
We're supposed to be taking a test, yeah. And she, yeah. What would you think?
What the fuck?
Like if you're in class, you don't think like my teacher's out to get me.
Oh, I thought that all the
Dude,
time.
Alright,
You know, like-
so my junior year of high school, there was one of my teachers, it was my English teacher, and her daughter had a thing for me, right? I didn't particularly have a thing for her.
Well,
We were both in choir, you know, we hung out, you know, a few times outside just because of the choir functions that were there, and her daughter had a thing for me. I didn't have a thing for her. I shot her down. Her mom, who was my English teacher, didn't like that I shot her down. She was out to get me.
Wow.
She did not like me. She made.
How dare you
almost
break my
failed.
daughter's heart? I don't care if she looks like a pig. You're still gonna date her.
I'm telling
Am I
you.
gonna get a hit?
So I'm telling you, you gotta take one for the team, my
I'll
guy.
take it for the team.
Yeah, you see, I was, except I had a girlfriend at the time.
Oh,
this
so
was
she's
a long time
a
ago.
wrecker. Ah, that's funny. This is a long time ago then, right?
Yeah, no, like I said, it was high school.
Okay,
Oh yeah, you've been lonely ever since.
Probably about the last time.
You're telling me, dude. I feel it. Hey,
He's
some
on
ladies,
Tinder.
let me know.
Right?
Yeah. All right, you single.
Yeah.
And ready to Pringle.
And ready to Pringle. No, but just can't have one and not stop. Is that what that means?
Right? They see a chip. Are you a chip?
Off the old block.
Yeah.
Ah.
I can't leave the audience in suspense.
Alright, we're gonna high five it. I gave up halfway. I wasn't
It
feeling
bad.
it.
You know what? Either way, I was gonna hit you with I only give high twos, but I was like, nah, Gilbert got it right there, and they just let me down.
Yeah.
Depression.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But so anyways, so yeah, my teacher was out to get me. You know, she made it very hard to pass that class. I think I passed with like a 70, and that's because I had to do extra credit work to even get to that 70. And it's not because I'm terrible at English, because
I'm terrible at English,
we know.
and I speak English.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to fake a heart attack in class one time.
Oh my god.
Wow. Why?
Because I was trying to get out of doing a test.
I remember.
You still would have to take
I remember.
Yeah, it was
Oh my
great.
God.
So believe it or not, it was in the same Spanish class.
She threw the water paper at you. You're like, oh,
Yeah, it was in this. No, my boy, I'm telling you, I did not pay attention in Spanish class. It's like they were speaking a different language. Like I could not
They were.
understand them.
They quite literally were speaking a different language.
Yeah, no, look,
That's how other languages work.
yeah, I believe Gilbert in this one because a couple of weeks ago before we were going to do the podcast, or no, it was a Saturday when we were watching the Cowboys play the 49ers. We went up to this elderly, well, I don't want to say elderly, but older couple, probably about my dad's age or something, and the car wouldn't turn on, right? So I went to go talk to him, and the guy started speaking Spanish to me, right? So I was like, all right, so I'll speak Spanish to him, and then I'll tell Gilbert what's going on, and then Gilbert started telling me what I should tell them, and then the guy switched it up to English, and then he's talking, and he's looking at me and Gilbert like this, talking English, and then Gilbert looks at me and goes, what do you say?
I was just, like in my mind, he was speaking Spanish, and just everything just shut off. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna let him jibber jabber, and then just have my ask. You know, so he was speaking perfect English to me, and I was just like, okay, just tell him. Tell him this is what I said.
It was like Gilbert already.
I can hear you. I understand.
Yeah, I just shut off.
Mexican guys all like,
Is there something wrong with it?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's full hat on there.
yeah. But anyway, right? So
I feel like you're sweating in that.
it's I feel like an easy bake oven. Yeah, I feel like a fucking
Baked potato?
yeah, baked
You're like, what do I feel like?
Yeah,
I feel like Gilbert.
Right? He's like, I feel like everything else, but just not an idiot.
yeah, this is my this.
Your idiot free zone.
Yeah, patent pending. But anyway, so we're doing this like major test, right? It counts for like 25% of our grade. And she's like speaking to us in Spanish or whatever. It's like, we gotta do this test. Oh, mind you, this is Spanish 2.
What happened to Spanish 1?
Barely. I had the same teacher, but she was real cool and she gave us all the answers.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she was a real cool teacher.
There you go.
Well, anyway, so I made it to Spanish 2 because I had to take two language classes for that school year or whatever, or to graduate. And so I'm looking at this dude and I don't know anything. I'm like, God damn it, like, fuck. And the only reason why I know where to put my name is because that's where I put my name at all the time. It's like muscle memory, you know?
The right hand.
They're gonna switch it
Yeah.
up one day. You're gonna be like, why is my name over here?
Yeah, but
Why
that's
is
the
it
only
over
reason why I
here?
have my name in the right place because I was like, it's muscle memory. That's gotta. I don't
If
know
that
what it
changes,
says.
I'm screwed.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
4 U's, 3 L's, and an Enya, but it's close. That's name. That's name. So I'm gonna put my name there, right? Well, anyway, what's it called? So I'm thinking, right, I'm there. I'm shaking my leg and getting nervous because the time's dwindling down. I'm like, I gotta get out of this. I gotta not do this test. I gotta pass somehow. I was like, dude, I was fucking heart attack. It'll work. It'll work. It's a heart attack. You know, you're not gonna.
It's gonna work. Hey, it's a heart attack, man. You
Yeah.
can't anything.
Yeah.
30% of the time, it works every time.
That's what I'm saying, right? And so I'm there, and I'm like, you know, you when you're about to do something serious, whatever, your heart starts beating real fast.
Well,
So
that's
I
what
got
it
that,
is.
right? I got the pre-performance jitters, you know, and I'm like, you know, I was like, I'm hyping myself up in the inside. It's like, come on.
So you damn near got a heart attack.
Yeah, damn near had a heart attack, trying to fake a heart attack. Yeah, and so I did. I fucking. So I got up real quick. I knocked the desk on the floor, and I fell on the floor, right? And I got my hand, and I was like, all right, put your hand over your heart, because it's a heart attack. So I grabbed my heart, right? And I'm on the floor, right? I'm grabbing my heart, and I'm like, teacher, I think I'm having a heart attack. Teacher, please, I can't do the test right now.
And she threw another water paper.
Yeah, and I'm there on the floor, and she gets up, right? She moves everything up. I hit the microphone.
Oh man.
Just pick, you got overexcited with your fake heart attack.
Oh shit!
Did it come out? No, it's good.
The audio on that's
You're
gonna be crazy. All right.
Sorry.
Sorry, microphone people. So and so she's moving shit out of the way. She's like, oh my god, kids just running or whatever, right? And she's right above me, and I'm like, teacher, please, I think I'm having a heart attack. I need to go home or take her to the nurse, right? And she's like, get the fuck up.
Didn't even like just get the fuck out.
Yeah, just get up, dude. Get it. Just stop. Just get up. And I was like, teacher, no, really. I was like, I'm not lying. She's like, you're lying. And you know how? I was like, how? She's like, because Gilbert, your heart's on the other side. I was like, no. I panicked, and I grabbed my left side. I should have grabbed the right side.
Oh, no.
It's you
Yeah.
Yeah.
when
You
did it-
probably grabbed the right side.
Yeah, I
You
grabbed the right
left
side.
Grabbed the wrong side.
That's because I was going to make that joke, too.
Yeah.
I thought I was hard going that way, but it'd been funny if you did have it on your right side, like the right part where your heart's at, and she kind of fucked with you, and you're like, oh yeah, this side.
What's wrong with my leg? It hurts. I'm just holding my chest, my leg. I can't feel it.
I'm blind, I can't hear.
Oh man.
Oh, man, I can't.
Yeah, but believe it or not, I still managed to pass that class.
Even after your heart attack?
Well, because towards the end, it was the finals, right? And she was like, you, and you, come with me. And I was one of them, right? Me and Ruffles were like, fuck us, all right. So it's right before the finals test, right? She brings us outside. She's like, listen, look, y'all aren't gonna pass. I've done everything. Y'all just aren't gonna pass. But I need y'all to pass for my class. I need y'all to pass.
I don't want to see you little shit smash.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of your shit. There's no more heart attacks I can handle.
Right. And it was all multiple choice, right?
I only have so many papers I
And
can
so,
throw at you.
and so she hands us the paper. She hands us some papers each, right? She's like, "Look, these are 70s, okay? Put your name on it and turn it in. But wait like 30, 40 minutes, and then put your name on it and turn it in." And we're like, "Oh shit, okay, all right." So we go to class, and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, just like 40 minutes here, 20 minutes. 40 minutes, and I see somebody get up. It's like 15 minutes in, right? Somebody gets up, but they're like one of those like automatically Spanish-speaking kids who just want an easy class, right? And so they get up, and they do their thing, and I'm like, no, I gotta wait for it. I gotta wait 40 minutes.
In case anybody was wondering, Gilbert's tinfoil hat just fell off.
It's top heavy.
That's top heavy.
Yeah.
Looks like a something. I don't know.
What does it look like? This is.
It kind of looks like a the top of Darth Vader's Oh man. Well, anyways, go continue with this
I
rap.
feel like Colossus's cock.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all dick right now.
Okay, so 15 minutes pass by.
Right. So this first kid gets up, and I'm like, oh, wait. So another kid gets up, and I get like anxious, right? Like after every kid gets up, I'm like, I want to get up there, right? And finally 45 minutes comes, and I get up there, and I slam my test on the desk, and I'm like, I passed this, I'm not past it, I'm ready. I start walking away. She's a bird. You need to put your name on the test. I was like,
The one thing that she asked you to do.
I had it in my head. I was like, I got this. Don't fuck up. But my heart's on my left side. I got this. Man. I can't. I'm not very bright, man.
They actually wouldn't
That's
let
why
me
he has
take
4 layers of tinfoil hat.
That's
That's
4
right,
layers.
4
Yeah,
layers.
they wouldn't let me take that class, Spanish class.
Really?
Yeah, they wouldn't let me do it
For what?
because I speak Spanish. So
Oh,
I would have basically that would have been like the only class I would have aced. Well, maybe even gym, but yeah.
Gotta keep you down.
Yeah, for real. No, I told my daughters, I said they need to take Spanish, and they go, why? I was like, okay. So I started doing a conversation with my dad,
Mhm.
and they knew we were talking about it. Like, see, she getting mad.
She get mad.
She getting mad.
She get mad.
And she's all like, what'd y'all say? I was like, well, fuck. If you need Spanish, you wouldn't be asking, right? So yeah, lesson learned. Taking it.
Either that or learn French and then talk to somebody about them in French.
But what I did
I'm gonna do fromage. Got it covered.
But what I did
Sign
learn in
language?
Spanish, I learned in everything else. I'm actually really fucking smart. Ask me a question. Anything.
Anything.
Ask me a question. I know it.
About anything.
But
How
I
much
need
wood,
to
wood, chuck, wood?
pass? All right, you.
Like I want to pass to Jerry, you can't pass.
Like,
it.
I'm really quick at math. Like, ask me a question. Ask me math.
Oh wait,
Oh,
there's
math.
me. Yeah, hold on. I'm waiting for the process. Hold on.
Okay,
I gotta get to the layers.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
okay. Ask you any question, and you'll get it right. You said.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how many times has Marie faked it with you?
Pass. All right, it's easy. That would hurt. Oh, almost got a real spit take out of that one.
So speaking of faking it, you had a sex story for us, right, Snoop?
Oh yeah. No. This was like a few years back. It was actually a good while back. It's a friend of mine that I still talk to. I met her at Stripes. She was working at Stripes, and finally I got her number, whatever. So, anyways, so she came over one night, like at 4 a.m, and after the club. You know what you're there. You know why you're there. You know why you're at.
Yeah. To party.
Right.
To get some nice rest?
Yeah, I'm the sleep intaker. No, so she had showed up, right, and whatever. We messed around, and she lost her ID. I don't know how the hell it got in the backyard when I found it, but I ended up finding it. So
In the backyard?
In the backyard, not her backyard, my backyard.
Wait,
In the backyard. With the grass and the dogs. And
Oh,
yeah.
Right, that backyard.
Yeah, not my
Right,
backyard.
your backyard.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
whose backyard?
It was his backyard.
Your
but
backyard,
not-
right?
It was his backyard, but not his backyard.
Yeah, not my asshole.
Yeah.
You mean back door? That's the back door. We call that the back door.
Well,
You know,
Snoop
you
has a
mean
big ass, so it's
Yeah.
his backyard.
Yeah. Just remember, I stretch out my asshole like Goku.
What?
Oh, you were here for that. We were talking about how much I'm an asshole because my daughter Isabel had asked me. No, that's Amber. My daughter Isabel had asked me, Dad, why does people call you a name? I go, what are you talking about? She's all like, yeah, they call you butt. I was like, still don't know what the fuck you're saying, right? She's like, well, I don't want to say bad words. I said, go ahead. She's like, why do they call you an asshole? I was like, because I'm an asshole.
Grounded.
Yeah, right. Because I'm an asshole, but I own it, right? And then I don't know. Josh had said something about how big of an asshole you are. I was like, dude, my assholeness is like to infinity and beyond. And without even thinking, I'm like, dude, I'm like Goku. I'm gonna stretch the limits of my asshole, right? And then I pause, right? I'm like, cause I realized.
And you're like, shit.
Yeah. I realized what I had just said.
Dragon Ball Z canon, Goku's gay.
Well, see, yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Well, anyways, the sex story, right? So I ended up finding her ID, and so she's at work, and at the time she was working at a fish place. And if she hears this, she's gonna know who exactly the fuck it is. But we're still good friends. She's with her boyfriend doing her thing, and I'm
You're with your boyfriend doing your thing.
Yeah, you are. Right?
His name is Goku.
His name's Goku. Yeah. Anyways, right? So then she comes over she comes over after work because I told her I have my ID. So she came over and, started messing around with her. And like I said, she works at a fish place, or she did, right? So, like if you ever work at Long John Silver's, you smell like the food. Subway, you smell like the food, whatever, right? So we're over
Does
there.
it smell like the food at the fish place?
Getting to that point.
No.
No, okay, so we're making out, whatever, and I'm slowly undoing her pants, right? And then she stops my hand like that, right? And she goes, no, I smell like fish. And I was like, that's something you don't want to tell a guy when he's trying to pull your pants down. She didn't smell, but the fact that she smelled like fish, she didn't really want to undress.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she wasn't saying she smelled like fish. She was saying like
She smelled like fish, but she didn't want to say her hoochie smelled like fish.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because we were about to get down to heavy, and she's all like, I smell like fish. So every once in a
Hot
while,
heavy fish fillet.
yeah. What's it called?
So we just went to Catfish Charlie's.
Well, anyways, and every once in a while, like on her Facebook page, I'll put like a little picture of a fish, and she knows what's up.
You should start putting little cute little guppies.
Little guppies.
They're little goldfish.
And watch later on.
The snack that smiles back.
For real, yeah, just fucking for her birthday, for Christmas, or whatever, just fucking for whatever, just send her a box of goldfish.
Send her a box.
They sell the big
Yeah.
boxes of goldfish.
Don't buy the big box of goldfish, send it to her, and then tell her, give it back. I need to send that back. I need my money back.
Don't open it. I sent you this gift. Don't open it. I need it back.
It was just for a joke.
It's just for a joke.
This is my food for the week, please.
I have goldfish. Fish that smiles back.
So, speaking of sex stories, I actually have one too. So while I was up in Indiana, so I was installing cable. I'm not going to say the company I was working for just for the sake of the story, but I was installing cable, and we were driving an hour out per different area, right? Well, we happened to go into this one area up in Indiana where.
They're plugged in.
All the way?
Yep, that's just how they look.
So,
This one's like this.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
alright.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we were driving out to different areas, whatever, like an hour out, 30 minutes out, they were just out of the way, right? So we were driving out to different areas. Well, in short, I lived a porn parody. I fucked the customer. Okay.
You want me to snake it through?
All
Is that plumbing?
I'm saying is
That would be plumbing.
all I'm saying is the customer fucked the cable guy. So
That's funny.
The cable guy.
I'm here to install your cable.
Right.
Can you show me where the box is?
Yo, nobody fucking uses cable anymore, though. Nobody.
Well,
That's why you got fired.
I didn't get fired. I quit.
Yeah, that's why you quit. Everyone's.
That's why he quit.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so I drove out there, whatever, and then there was all this drama, and because I'd gone out there and we didn't have sex when I first got there, right?
Of course not. You gotta lead up to the music.
Well, no. So here's the thing.
Yeah,
There was
yeah,
the
yeah.
porn. She had a boyfriend
You
at
gotta
the
skip
time.
ahead
Right?
11 minutes.
She had a boyfriend at the time, right? So I'd gone over there, I installed the cable, do what I needed to do, but I needed to go back the next day to go do something else, right? To finish up. No, and not even the next day. So here's the thing. So she had a boyfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm respectful of that shit.
I'm sure,
I won't
yeah,
ever,
it's just
I won't
fucking
ever touch
smashing.
that, right? If they're in a relationship, I won't touch it. Okay? Contrary to how you think the story's going. Okay, so the next day I go over there with one of my buddies to go finish up so we can leave and go to a different area, right? I didn't even think this chick was into me. In all reality, this was maybe a 4.
But you were into her.
No.
Yeah, like 2 inches in.
Well, later.
Yeah, 2 inches in.
That's generous.
Thank you.
Anyways, so 2 weeks goes by after I'm done installing the cable, and she hits me on Facebook. I didn't even know that she had my Facebook.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
She's like
right?
stalking you,
She
dude.
looked for you.
Bro, well, anyway, so she hits me on Messenger, right? And she's like, "Hey, how are you?" I was like, "Good." I'm at the club, right? I'm good, right? And then she starts letting all
Can I
these-
do the club music in the background while you talk? Since you're at the club?
Sure.
Alright, go ahead, go.
How would you do it? I want to see this.
Just keep telling your story.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, she hits me up on Messenger, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Say hey, keep going with your story.
Anyway, so I was like, "Hey, yeah, what's up?" And she started laying down all this random shit, saying "Oh yeah, so you remember my boyfriend that was there?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, now he's my ex-boyfriend. He's in jail for physical abuse. He punched me in my eye and stuff, broke a few windows." And I was like, I didn't sign up for this.
Oh,
Right? I was
Like,
like,
I just
okay,
signed up
this-
for the fucking. I signed up for the package.
Listen,
I got the bundle, cable and internet.
I was like, I gave you basic cable. You're trying to sign up for the premium package, like. But anyway, yeah, she was letting me know all this stuff, right? So I hand my phone to my buddy who's standing next to me. I'm like, handle this, right? So I was expecting him just to get rid of it, right? Well, he hands me the phone back. He's like, all right, you're going over there tomorrow. I was like,
Did you
what?
get smashed?
I was like, what? So I'm reading through the messages, and he's flirting with her for me. I was like, what are you doing? Right? And I was like, I guess I'm fucking going over there tomorrow. So I was like, all right, cool. I was off the next day anyways. I was like, fuck it. If I'm going to be up here, I'm going to get some strange, right?
You're like,
so I go over there.
You're
and
like, my dick is 2 inches, but my force didn't adds 3.
and if I know math, that's 12 inches.
Pass.
No, but so I went over there, right? And she has 2 kids, right? One's 13 and the other one's 6. Okay? And her son, and by the way, just for safety purposes, I have her blocked on Facebook now.
Nice.
But
Can I
I'll get to that. You don't want to.
Oh no.
Anyway, so she has a 13-year-old son, or whatever, who thought I was like the coolest dude because I watched How to Train Your Dragon, which is a bomb-ass flick. I stand by it. Right?
I'm with you on that.
But he thought I was like the coolest guy ever, right?
Okay, for y'all that don't know what happened, Gilbert did it again. He was gonna give somebody a high five, and they got tired and put his head down, and then Jerry just slapped him on the forehead.
Listen, it's not my fault. You guys fall for it every time.
Oh, it's your fault you got smacked in the face.
Yeah, you know, get it for me one time.
No,
wait, it's too late now.
It's too late now.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. It's like a dog. You can't discipline your dog. You know, an hour after he done poop on the floor.
I mean, you can, it just won't work.
It won't work. Yeah.
You're like, how the fuck is he sticking? Well, I mean, you pissed on your cat, like.
Yeah, but that was an accident.
Okay, we'll get to. Yeah, no.
I think I told that story on the podcast.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, no, you
Yeah,
told me.
where I pissed on the cat.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So,
coming.
anyways,
Shit,
right?
man.
So
So who's the girl?
the son, the 13-year-old boy, or whatever, thought I was the coolest person watching How to Train Your Dragon, right? And the little girl came up to me and she straight up asked me this question: are you gonna be my new daddy? Right?
Oh, fuck.
And right next to her mom, or right next to her was her mom, right? She's looking at me, and I looked at the girl. I'm like, hell no.
He said, I'm just
Right?
a cable. I'm just a cable guy, sweetie.
Like, no, I was like, hell no, right? Her mom just looks at me like, what do you mean, hell no? I'm like, we'll talk about it in the room.
And she's like, what was all that you were talking about your 3 extra inches of foreskin?
I said, I know math and it's 12 now.
What's it?
It's stretchy.
I bet your buddy was all like, yeah, we always wanted a family, and then she's all like, wait, what? Straight up tell the kid, hell no.
I told the kid, hell no, in front of their mom,
That's funny.
who I later proceeded to have sex with.
Bro,
I remember I
that's
got
funny.
drunk and I tried to make a kid eat a rock.
What?
Yeah, I
I
got.
never babysitted
Were you
my
looking
kids.
in a mirror?
No,
Were you looking in the mirror and you're like, hey, you're gonna eat a rock.
Nah, it's just
Hey,
some-
you're stupid.
Nah, it's just some kid. He picks up some rock. He's like, it's a cool rock, right? And I'm there with my beer, and I'm like,
It's gonna be cool if you eat it.
yeah. I was like, dude, you can do it. Yeah, you can eat it. No, you can't eat it. I was like, no, you can eat it. He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, dude, you can totally eat that rock, dude. And then the fucking sister
Wait,
Sabrina got mad at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. All
Wait,
right.
was it your kid?
No. We were at a wedding reception.
Oh god.
And we were just chilling outside for a little bit, you know, get away from all the music and all
Some
that.
random kid there.
Having a beer outside and a cigarette and all
Was
that.
that Luis's sister?
And Luis's sister's wedding.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
All the kids are running around. They're
Yeah.
throwing these
They're
like,
pissing
Like
me
what, a
off.
month and a
He's
half
annoying.
almost?
Dude, they're annoying as fuck.
throwing these fancy ass like lava rocks around, and the people that own the place are getting pissed. They're like, man, all these kids throwing stuff around. I'm gonna go find an adult.
Set the adult. I'm gonna go
Set the
find
I know.
I need an
I'm
adult.
gonna go find an adult.
We'll
I
go
named
find-
my beer an adult.
We need to go
I
find
need an
somebody that can handle these kids and
Right.
tell them to stop throwing rocks around. And while they're trying to find somebody, we're all just kind of sitting there in front watching. And we're okay.
Let's
They're,
try
they're getting pretty wild out here.
That's
Huh?
nice.
Drinking our beer.
Yeah, there's
And,
like a fire pit.
There's a fire pit.
And some
right?
kids are just crawling
And
over the fire
the
pit.
others all
Should've
over
lit.
in the fire.
Should've.
Because they have it set where it's like the lava rocks, and they have their own little furnaces inside.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Shoot the fire out or whatever.
That way it looks cool.
The way it looks cool. And yeah, he was telling the kid just eat that fucking
I'm trying to get the
that
kid
sharp
to
ass
like,
lava
But
rock.
did he
He did
No, he
it.
didn't. He knew better.
He knew knew better.
He knew
I
better.
was trying so
He's
hard
like,
to get that kid
I know
that
you're
rock.
stupid, mister.
I'll give you
You
a
should be
dollar.
like this. I'll eat one with you.
I know. I was trying so hard to get that kid eat that
Yeah,
rock.
but knowing Gilbert, he'll accidentally eat it.
And I was like choking.
And the kid will
I'm having a heart attack again.
where's the paper balls?
Right? What's it called? That's funny that you say that. That little badass kids. Josh had tagged me in this little meme. He goes, "What did it say?" It said, when you see when there's a disobedient child and you spank them, but it's awkward because you don't know whose kid this is. And yeah, he tagged me in it. I was like, dude, yeah. I would love just to go up to a random kid and whoop the shit out of him, like just take him back to his parents. Like, that's how you fucking do it.
Okay, so that reminds me of a story. When I was in high school, right?
Uh-huh.
We had
go ahead.
we were stupid kids, right?
For me,
Stupid kids.
We were very stupid kids, right? But we would go around. We had a buddy who looked older than all of us, right?
Right.
He was the same age as us, but he looked older than all of us. So he lost a bet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right, what do I got to do, right? Because when you look, we never set whatever was going to be beforehand for like almost any of our bets because we always wanted it to be a surprise. But we told,
dude, that's
we told him, all right, you have to go to the mall, and our mall has this little playground area upstairs where most of the parents take their kids and stuff, right? Well, we told him he had to go over there, sit down, ask one of the parents, oh, which one's yours, right? And usually
Say
there's
all of them.
no, and then they
And that's how they got stupid.
Well, usually they respond like, oh, that one over there. How about you? Right? And we got lucky. The person he asked says like, oh yeah, mine's over there, whatever, running around playing with those kids. How about you? Which one's yours? He said, I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Oh no!
Oh man.
Oh, that's terrible.
We got kicked out that day.
No, it's like when people go to you and they have kids, like me. I mean, I don't do it, but people are like, oh yeah, look, check out, it's a picture of my kid, right? I don't know
You've
why.
done that too many times.
Have I? Have I showed you pictures of my kids?
You never showed pictures of your kid.
Yeah, see, because I don't do that.
You try to hide them. You just.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't, who's that old girl? I fucking don't know.
No, yeah.
No,
I don't know. Is that yours?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
like parents will be like, oh, look at my kid, da 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 da. Like when you first meet them or whatever, and it pisses me off. I just want to go to them like, yeah, pictures of your kid too. And freak them out.
I don't think it would freak them out as much as it would make them very scared.
Yeah,
I have a question. I'm sorry. I just fucking barged in. Whatever. I'm in. All right.
I'm in.
All right. If you could, right?
Yes.
All right.
Jinx.
if you could,
Would
would you eat human flesh?
If
Like,
you-
it's
like
like
can.
if you went to a restaurant and it was like we got the filet mignon, we got the T-bone steak,
You got the flaming Gilbert.
yeah, we got the bird platter,
The bird platter.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
All right.
We call this one the Gilly Billy Burger.
yeah. But if you could eat human meat, would you eat it?
Well, one, I wouldn't go to that restaurant because I don't think I'd fucking make it home if they're serving human meat.
Especially
Yeah,
if you're
my
wearing
dog
the
is
aluminum
using
foil.
Yeah, right.
Especially if you're wearing the foil hat and everything.
Yeah. Oh,
you
he's
know?
already prepped.
He's
He's prepped for
gonna
it.
stick him in the
Yeah, they wouldn't order
Okay,
me.
so here's
Walk
the
that
thing.
extra.
I think my first impression would be, what the hell is going on here?
like if it was socially acceptable.
Socially acceptable? I would.
But it wouldn't matter.
Well, okay.
They already would have accepted it.
Well,
Yeah,
okay. Well,
socially
then I'd have
acceptable.
another question though.
Probably.
Are any of my friends missing? Are any of my families missing? Do I have kids? If so, where are they?
I haven't figured it out yet.
I don't know which one yet.
I don't know which one yet.
Give me a few minutes to look at the order.
Okay, okay, what would different
All right.
Okay,
races
so-
taste like?
First question.
No. Stop.
Wait, what did you say?
No. Stop it. We're not gonna. No.
Oh, I'm just gonna say that, and I'm not gonna continue because you know where I'm going with it. What would different races taste like?
And no.
Oh,
No.
actually, honestly, I read an article about that. About a man who has eaten human flesh.
Right.
I feel like that's called a cannibal.
Right.
And he says that, well, yeah, that's what it is. But he does say
He
that
tells you like you're an idiot. You didn't know. Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah, he says the human flesh that he likes the most was like Asian or Chinese descent because they eat healthier in those areas. You know, with the sushi and the vegetables and stuff like that.
I was.
Yeah, no, I know, this is what I read.
You're not allowed to say.
This is what I read. But yeah, but he did say he's eaten like the the Asians and the Chinese and stuff like that. He said that they're healthy. The food tastes good. The human flesh tastes good because they eat healthy.
Right.
He says
Americans taste like
Americans,
cheese.
yeah, he said Americans are extremely salty. And it's probably because we eat a lot of salty foods.
It's probably because we're all throwing salt at each other.
Yeah, and fucking America. So
You America can't get better than this.
yeah.
We're all fat and overweight.
I know what you're talking about. I'm fat and underweight.
And underweight.
But he just said that Americans tasted really salty and that it wasn't his choice.
If it was socially acceptable, I think I'd have to try it one time for the one time.
I totally just eat human flesh. I just go at it.
Okay, but what race would you? What race would you eat?
No!
What race would you eat?
Stop!
I don't know. I think if I'm starting it off, I don't think it would matter. I just want to eat something.
Whoever's closest.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to answer my question.
yeah, you're not allowed to ask me real questions.
Okay,
You're not doing
I'll
that.
say it once the podcast is over because I want to have to get it out.
Yeah,
so I got the 15 minutes to chill.
We're not talking about that. But
You
yeah.
see how they have me? They know what the fuck I'm gonna say.
Don't plead to the people. They're not gonna help you.
You want to hear it, don't you? Like if anybody comments what they wanted to hear, I will post it on. I will send you a message.
Yeah, he'll send you a
He'll send you a
message
message.
on his own page or his own Facebook.
Yeah.
And if he gets backlash, that's all on him.
Wait, you said black guy?
Blacklisted.
Oh, blacklisted. Sorry. Anyways,
I was
quick.
trying to say blacklisted and backlash at the same time, so I said backlash.
That's what I was. Wait.
Anyway. So if you could eat human, right, and it was just like you go to a restaurant and there's like human on the menu, would you eat it?
If it was socially acceptable, I'd try it one time.
What if it wasn't socially acceptable?
Then
It was
no.
one of those places where they're like, you're weird if you go there.
Well, then I
Well,
would
yeah,
be there.
that'd be weird.
And they offer you human flesh under the table.
I feel like that's one of those, black market places to where, they're like, this place is specifically catered to cannibals.
Right.
Like I'll get the T-bone steak. Can you name
Hey, man.
Ryan?
Yeah, what if,
Okay, you see Josh today, man? You gotta worry about it. Oh, speaking of
Wait,
which,
speaking of that, it's Josh's birthday
Josh's
today.
birthday.
Can you go get us our cake, please?
well, go get us our. Yeah, let's stop her from eating her sesame seeds or what is it?
Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds.
Yeah, so it's
Bro.
Josh's birthday
It's
today.
Josh's birthday
Josh is
today,
old.
and he's not on the podcast.
Yeah, because he's celebrating his birthday and did not invite us.
Exactly.
Dick.
And so you know what we're gonna do?
I live with him, so I'm invited always.
Right. Well, okay.
Suckers.
We're trying to hate him right now?
I know we're
Not
not
helping.
mad at him.
Oh, yeah.
Right. We're
Fuck
not
that guy.
in support because.
Hang on, wait,
we didn't say that.
Yeah, we didn't go that
What's
far.
wrong with you, Gene? Come on, chill out now. Chill
He's gonna
out.
lock the door again.
Yeah. Bro.
But yeah, it's
Okay, so we have two locks on our doors. One of them's accessible through key on the outside, the other one's not. So there's been a few instances because Gilbert
Hey, that's me. That's me.
walks into our house, if we leave the door unlocked, he'll just open the door and walk in.
Okay, but if
Well,
it's
there's-
unlocked, obviously I could go in. There's nothing stopping me from going in.
There's
so,
a door.
So passive aggressively, you're like, come on, Gilbert, come inside. Let yourself in.
To be
Well,
fair,
when they're
on
not
his-
expecting
on his
you
point,
yet.
To be fair, on his point, I used to do that to him all the time.
Oh yeah, no, it's
I
not
want-
like I have a problem with it. It's just whenever I wasn't there at the time, like I was still up in Indiana, and it was Josh and his girlfriend, and they weren't clothed entirely whenever he walked in. And then
Oh,
Josh
yeah.
scrambled to make sure that they were clothed after he walked in.
Oh, I didn't know.
We're like, ooh.
So,
it's a
so we
party.
lock the doors now. Most of the time, top and bottom lock. But whenever one of us is out, we only lock the bottom lock so we can unlock it and get in. Well,
Jerry walks
most of the
in.
time, whenever it's late at night, we'll lock both locks. We'll usually assume that the other one's home unless we know for sure that they're not. Right? Well, he's done that to me like 3 times since I've been back now because he's used to locking both of them since it's just him and his girl. And the other night, I think it was 3 nights ago, I was out till like 4:30 in the morning, just hanging out with some friends and stuff. And I had come home and both the locks were locked. Well, I tried calling him, he didn't answer. So I rang the doorbell, he didn't answer. Knocked on the door, didn't answer. Called him again, still no answer. So I rang the doorbell and knocked on the door at the same time and called him. And he finally answers the door. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Can you let me in the house?" He's like, "Yeah. Just give me a second."
But it's all because I let myself in. All the time.
But see, I did that to you today, and you're like,
Yeah, he did that
maybe
to me
I
today.
should lock the door.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck it. I mean, left the door unlocked, but it seems.
Good. I locked it too. Normally I knock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not.
I know.
I'm
So I was
respectful.
like, you know what?
No, I just
Usually
walked
you
in
know,
this
fuck
bitch.
it, let me just go ahead.
Yeah, but
Because
sometimes.
they're always like, why does he even knock? Why did he come in?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'll be asleep and I'll wake up and she's just there in my room chilling.
Oh yeah,
I was like-
I used to that too, man, because they gave me a key to his house. And I was like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I
at
was
least you had. Okay, so you had a key, so that's
see-
different.
See, but his room never had a key, so I would just barge in his room. Like I'll be like, I'll ask him, hey, where's Gilbert? She's like, oh, he's in his room asleep. I'm like, okay, cool.
See,
I'll be
if-
back. I'm gonna wake him up. She's like, okay,
if
yeah,
you're
perfect.
squeaking, don't come knocking.
If I was Jerry in that situation when he walked in on Josh and Sam,
I was
would
whatever.
just. Well, who walked in on Josh and Sam?
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Oh, and they were scrambling.
Yeah.
Oh no. Bro, if I were you, I would have just yelled, "Player 3 has entered the tournament." And just.
Just make my way in with my own music, my theme music. I'm at a club.
Get ready for Big Bird.
That's funny. So,
Yeah, no, if it was me,
are you cutting the
they
cake?
know.
No, you should.
I thought you were gonna bring out the whole pan.
Why?
So we can show the camera.
Put it back in.
Yeah, just put it back in. Nobody would know.
Okay.
Did you take a picture of it beforehand?
Yeah.
All right, so
We'll
we'll
post it- we'll
we'll
post
post
it
it on the
on
Hooligans
Facebook.
page.
Yeah,
So-
we graciously we made a chocolate. Well, I'm sorry. Marie made
You want me to
a
have
chocolate. Yeah, you're tall. You can do it.
Yeah, hey, Marie, I don't need cake. Just
I don't.
I'll probably try a piece.
I'll take
but
a slice.
I
I'll take a
don't
slice.
need
Today
cake.
you eat cake.
I don't need cake.
That's a big ass piece of cake.
Or
Yeah,
chocolate.
this is nice.
Yeah.
I don't need
Yeah.
chocolate or cake.
She even put spray paint
I'm
on
a
it.
pie guy.
There's spray paint.
That's why it's over.
It is right. There's spray paint on it.
Let's food coloring spray paint. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Marie
You're
made
gonna
Josh
shit
a
silver.
cake, and it's a chocolate cake, and it's got silver spray
Sugar
paint
on
on
it?
it.
I don't.
Babe, do you want some cake?
Would you like some cake?
A little piece.
Yeah, okay, well that's the
There you
little
go.
piece you're gonna get. Here you go, honey.
You gotta walk into the shot.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Now
what
wave
we're
to
gonna do.
people,
Now
wave
wave to
hi.
people.
Hi.
You're representing Snoop now. Okay, here you go.
All right.
Get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Shoot.
Baby girl, what do you mean?
But anyway, so
I was baby girl.
so Marie made Josh a
Oh, my
cake.
boyfriend's baby girl. That's it.
I'm gonna kill your boyfriend.
Okay.
It's a chocolate cake. It's got silver spray paint. It's got blue sprinkles, and it's got blue
Do you have any quotes?
words on it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Try not to read it.
Yeah. I can't throw pieces together to figure out what it says.
You can't read it. I can spell better than Gilbert though.
No, don't worry about that.
You could write better than
Yes.
Gilbert. You can't spell better than Gilbert.
Hey,
There's a difference.
Well, when you're right, you're right. Stop being
You
right.
know what? You couldn't even say the spray paint.
Better. Number
Here,
one.
you get the little one. I'll take the
Well, either way, Josh, happy birthday from us.
Happy
Wish you were
birthday,
here,
bro.
buddy, but you know, you're probably in something else. Or should I say
And
someone
with that,
else?
we are also going to close out the podcast.
Yeah, we are going to shut it down just a little bit earlier, just so we can get to Josh and stuff, say hi to him and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, with that, we have been the Halfwitt Hooligans.
That's my line.
I know.
Okay, so
Wait a
then I
second.
say it.
I'm going to say it, okay?
Hang on. Ladies are both pretty. I think we're missing something.
What are we missing?
I don't know. Think for a second.
Okay,
we
we
have
got
time to
me.
kill.
I'm the host.
Yes.
We got Jesus.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Like
We
something
got
we were gonna either say, talk about. We got Josh out of the way.
Yeah. We talked about our sex
Robert.
stories. Robert!
Yeah, send-
Robert!
Send some more love
Robert!
towards Robert. He's
Right,
still not
right,
back
right.
with us.
So,
Never forget something.
a lot of you don't know this, but Robert has been on the podcast in a little over a month now.
Mm-hmm.
His dad has cancer, and he's been spending a lot of time with his dad. And they've been fighting it and everything. His dad's finally able to go home and then go to the hospital every day as an outpatient and do some chemo that way, as opposed to staying in the hospital the whole time. He wasn't able to make it on the podcast today, but Robert should be able to make it on the podcast next week. If
Fingers
everything
crossed.
goes well. So fingers crossed,
Fingers
we'll see
crossed.
Robert. Okay? But yeah, other than that's everything. We have been the Halfwitt Hooligans. We thank you guys very, very, very much for tuning in. Remember, you can catch us on Castbox, YouTube.
Straight fingers.
Yes. You can catch us on Castbox, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The Halfwitt Hooligans. You'll find us. We'll be there. All right. Thank you guys very much. We hope you guys have a great Sunday.
Bye.
Later.